What's up, everybody? It's me, Disbearity here. We're coming back here with the next tier list for Immortal Empires in Warhammer 3. So, as you guys know, we're going to do a small little recap here. Is that we gave an S. Well, you probably already see it on the screen here, so you can kind of get what facts that we had already hit up so far. So, if you guys want to see that tier list, make sure to hit the card in the top right corner in order to check out that last video there. And so let's go ahead and get this started here. So we're going to be starting out with none other than Kislev, who's led by Katarina. Okay, so Kislev, first things first, they played. They're very different, of course, from their Warhammer 1 counterpart. You know, their actual fresh faction. They use a devotion mechanic, which is a unique resource to the Kislev factions, which is gained by winning battles against chaos armies and constructing certain buildings. And so that's just a small description of that. And also, the Ice Court and the Orthodoxy compete for supporters, a second unique resource for Kislevites. The more supporters your faction gains, the more likely minor Kislevite factions want to confederate with you. They also get Daemons, which are unique lords who do not earn XP but gain traits through dilemmas that enhance the current region and or army that they're currently located in. The Ice Court mechanic means false maidens take a long time to train. They are recruited for a discounted price. So basically means that you recruit them, you get the upgrade to do them, then you recruit them through certain means, various means. All right, so the starting armies of the Ice Court here, which is again led by Tsarina Katarina.
I'll just say it. Winged Lancers, Corsairs, Armored Corsair Grace Weapons, Ice Guards, and a 1 Snow Leopard.
All right, cool. Tsarina starts in a really, I want to call it they start in the natural born Kislev territory, where if you play Warhammer 1 or Warhammer 2, that's where they always been until since now they're an official faction here. They're surrounded by Draika, Festus, the Orthodoxy, brought the Unclean, if I'm correct, right? Then
that's very close to Throat.
Then it's Azag. Then we have the Von Karsteins to the south. And what's that? Is that Ugram Iron Fist in the mountains there?
Ugram Iron Fist, yeah.
Yes.
So that's where they start out at. So Derper, I'm gonna let you kick it off by going more in depth.
Well, especially when you play as Katarina, you have access to the Ice Court pretty early on, and you can already start recruiting. And especially because she cuts the recruitment time by 2 turns. So if you were playing as any other Kislevite faction, you'd have to wait 8 turns, but she gets them at 6. She uses the new lore, or one of the 2 dedicated lores of Kislev, Lore of Ice. It's a pretty good lore, good debuffs, good damage, all sorts of things. Definitely good at slowing down the enemies, letting all your hybrid units, because the majority of all Kislev's main units are hybrids, kind of like with the Loveland Sea Guard for the High Elves. So they get all the range firepower and some decent melee combat. As well as every unit in the Kislevite army has a thing where whenever they fully break, like when their leadership goes down, they will keep fighting and listen to your commands for 30 seconds before running off. Because in lore, Kislev has been always guarded the north and the south. Well, it's always guarded the south from the northern advances of chaos. So they're very sturdy warriors. And to top it off, because of Kislev, they get bears, and bears are their pretty good best mount that all the heroes get. Even the lords. Let's see. Looking at it from an oversight view of the map, your biggest threats to deal with is definitely Fraught. Maybe Azag if he comes down the mountains and just declares war on you. Definitely Azazel and all his vassals of Norska. Not Fraught, I already mentioned Fraught. Fucking Frog, if he ever fucking survives and comes down after he just deals with full fricassee to fight a bit. Because Dalton will definitely not fight you or go to war with you. Like, sure, he's negative relationships because of the whole thing, but if you easily just beat the motherland, just get all your fucking supporters, dedicators, and just instantly fucking confederate with them, you get 2 good legendary lords, really good at fucking dealing with the rest of the world. Festus won't focus you too much. He'll be too busy dealing with all the fucking Empire factions, but he will at some point turn around and want to clap your cheeks. But you gotta pull out your ice sword, ride your motherfucking bear, and slay them in the name of Kislev.
Alright, Bongus, what's your idea of Kislev? What's the deal with that?
Anything
else? Shit. I mean, I don't have anything against the Kislevs. I think their starting area, in my opinion, is one of the worst. But it is good for mostly because if you're looking for early XP or whatever, because you have so many factions near you up there in the north.
Mhm.
So I wouldn't say it's not terrible, but it could use improvement.
Yeah, it's especially helpful that Kislev, the territory you start with, like Kislev, Prague, and I can't remember the third one for the life of me, are all like single provinces, like eight settlement buildings. So you've easily got an instant province straight away, so you can easily pump up the growth, get the higher tier units, especially with Ice Guard, pretty good. And then same with Little Groms, pretty good, nice artillery unit. And combine it with her lore vice, like fuck, always slowing down the enemy. They're easily fucking capable of getting fucking smacked. That's why I think, even though it's a hard start to begin with, if you slowly get in it, it's pretty alright. I think Zara Katarina is an A.
I don't see. You think she's able? I feel like
Yeah, no, I could agree with that.
I feel like I don't. I'm like I feel like she
I would agree with
kind of gets
A.
like
yeah.
I feel like she
And
kind
our
of gets
host
like
is muted in Discord because he's a troll.
Not my bad. I feel like she's kind of like a mixture between A and an A minus, just because I feel like at least as Katarine, you have to know like you have like the literally the first 5 to 10 turns. If you mess up within those first 5 to 10 turns, it's literally probably over with the campaign because you might take too long fighting what are those chaos warlords or whatnot that are against you.
The Norskins.
That you automatically start off against.
Well, I would say because she's it's weird because the other guy we're going to talk about, Dalton,
he's worse.
Yeah, I have more feelings that he's worse than Katarina Spawn.
Oh yeah,
how close he is to fucking the 3 dickheads.
Yep, he is. Oh my god, it's so funny.
Throt, Azazel, and what's his name? Throg. No, Throt, Azazel, and Throg are always fucking teammates.
Yep.
They always.
Oh my god.
Okay, so I'll agree with y'all. We can go for it. We can go for A with Katarina.
I'd say mostly why I say Katarina is an A is because like she doesn't really have that much to deal with. Azag never leaves that fucking spot right there. That's what I've seen. He's always eliminated at 50.
For me, in my own personal playthrough, he did attack me when I captured that one southern city.
Right there.
But then he walked away, and then he never bested me again. So yeah, you are kind of right on that.
It's like Azag's AI is fucked or something. Like he's not aggressive at all.
I think the entire AI is fucked. Well, the entire AI is fucked, which is why they're actually changing the AI aggressiveness to be instead of because right now they're like passive aggressive, and they're gonna change them to be more aggressive. So
Throt, not Throt. Fucking what's his name? Doesn't feel passive aggressive. Fucking Throg. He declares war and just rushes you when you're playing Dalton. It's annoying up there.
It really is, though. It really is. But yeah, we can go A with Kislev.
Yeah, I'll give Katarina an A.
All right, so we're going to be talking about Dalton right now. Which isn't he based off Rasputin, if I'm correct, right? Yeah, he's the Rasputin of the game. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
And so he carries a faction, the Great Orthodoxy, which is again the counter faction to Kislev. All right, so Dalton, his main abilities that he has as a faction leader is he has the Patriarch. He gets armor piercing, which of course means you're piercing through armor. He also gets battle prayers for his units to support his allies in battle. He also gains flaming attacks against his enemies. He has frenzy, and so the spells that he gets but this is campaign only, of course. He can get fireball. His active abilities is Ursun's Roar, Dog's Song of Winter's Sunlight, Silex, Lullaby, and Tor's Battle Hymn. Now, for campaign only, he does get Rally and also Stand Your Ground. His passive abilities is Ursun's Ward, Blaze of Devotion, the Courage to Sacrifice, and for campaign only, Enduring Devotion. Now, items that he does gain is Brazier Mace of Ursun, and his unique item is the Burning Brazier. Now, he only has 2 mounts, and that is the Warhorse and the Warbear. So, for his Immortal Empire's army, at least that he starts off with in the campaign, he gets 2 Streletsy, 2 Kossars, 1 unit of Kosovite or Kislevite dervishes, light warsheds, and 2 units of horse archers. Now, his personal traits, of course, he gets Supreme Patriarchy. Wound recovery time is -2. Passability is Frenzy. And that's pretty much it. So, Derper, I want you to go more in depth with Consultant.
Well, Dalton, I've played him tons of times. He is very decent melee support lord. He starts off with fucking regeneration, but only really keeps him at 25%. So which is like not bad, but eventually you can easily get like some items, especially that new green item that gives you like passive regen, which is pretty nice. A good addition. He's all the battle pairs are pretty good. I remember originally, I think it was he could only use like pick one of the battle pairs, but now he gets to pick all four. So he starts with basic Urson one, which is just good old leadership, and I think it's melee attack. Then you've got Salvik's prayer, which is all about healing, so you're helping keep the troops up. Or maybe try and use it before starting the fight, so you don't try and lose as much unit or models, but that's all different and stuff.
Yeah.
As like all the other Kislev lords and heroes, he gets a bear mount at some point, which the bear mounts are pretty good. He definitely is good at fighting and all that, especially if you mix it up with all the Kislev units, especially with some of the armored Kossars. Just send some of them into melee while have your other ones in the back ready to shoot. At some point, you probably will get some Ice Guard, but that's eh. And then at some point, we'll get an Elemental Bear too. Like, why not get one of the big fucking bears and roar, roar, roar. But let's.
All the times playing them, I never got an elemental bear.
I love
Same.
the Elemental Bear. It's a pretty good fucking unit. Big old motherfucker. It's so good.
And it's an absolute unit multiplayer too. So I will say I'll agree with that.
No, but yeah, I just know he's a pain to begin with because, like, in the first couple of terms, I think it's Osterland just declares war on you randomly. It's like, okay, it's like, why the fuck you declaring war, you random bitch? And then you got to deal with one of Azazel's
the three fucking idiots.
Yeah.
And
Rog, Azazel, and Throt.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like,
and
I'm telling you, his start is so bad.
And it doesn't help
if you pull yourself out of that shithole. Because Dalton's amazing.
Put it like
and
this.
It doesn't...
He's like, if you want to be a masochist, that's your guy right there. He is your guy.
And it doesn't help that one of the first armies you go to war with is like a bunch of Kislevite rebels, so you won't get much. So you lose like devotion it's not smiled upon in the motherland to be fighting your fellow Kislevite brothers and sisters, and having low devotion, especially usually in the game, you want to like use one of your devotion to get one of the motherland events going, so you can get more supporters, so you can win the race and then confederate your opposing faction. So you want to get Tsar Katarina underneath the orthodoxy to prove her that we don't need magic, just follow Urson's rare like her father. But low devotion, it's pretty good with low devotion because if you play it right, you can just keep farming all the chaos armies that spawn. But you have to like juggle with dealing with the rest of the world. And we'll pass it on to our news channel, Zalgo.
I'm just talking about the area, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, his fucking area is just, it's not the best early, but like everything that Derper said, it's true. Like, if you are able to crawl yourself out of the fucking hole for Dalton, he could be one of the best leaders in the game. Because it's just I think, he gets all the battle pairs now, right? Or
yeah.
that he can pick, right?
Yeah.
So that's pretty amazing. Plus, he gets the ward saves for the patriarchs. He's all about patriarchs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he likes his patriarchs.
Yeah, he gets patriarchs and Corsair, like ranged archers people, right?
Yeah.
They get 5+ leadership and 5 melee attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty great because he's perfect for like cheese ranged armies. So if you're planning on just fighting every fight, honestly, you could cheese it. Plus, with patriarchs are melee, or what are they?
Patriarchs
are melee. They're the priest hero.
Yeah, I don't have much experience with Dalton. I played Katarina, not Dalton. But his starting area, for me in the beginning, that's what really kills his character for me. That's why I've never really gone with him a lot in playthroughs for Kislev.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, I think the Lord himself is amazing. It's just the area holds him down. If they were to move Azazel or something somewhere a little bit else, I like him more.
So,
but it makes sense where Azazel's at.
So with what's been said here, I want to say this is very based on with Costlin, the first 5 to 10 turns of him. If you don't get yourself out of the hole, then the playthrough is basically over with, and you might as well just start over. So
yeah, because if you mess up, Frost's coming to your left. Like he rushes left.
Yeah,
since he goes to war with you, he just comes for them cheeks.
And I don't know if you've ever seen this, but me and Derper, when we did our Kislev playthrough, we fucked it. But what happened was Throt came over with 3 armies to fucking kill Derper.
Yeah, he came over to clap my cheeks.
He had a whole army of Slavenskade spears and slingers, another one of that, and then Throt had like a bunch of monsters and shit. It was ridiculous.
And it didn't help that every time I try to expand now to get a second province, Azazel and his cocksleeve vassal keeps coming and fucking taking Castle Alex Drangsdorf.
South. Like, it's just because Stalin is just getting kicked.
So, in all, because Stalin probably deserves in this tier list here is a D. I don't know, how do y'all feel about D in this situation? Because like I said, if you don't break, so put it like this, I go D because if you don't break yourself out in the first 5 to 10 turns,
you're not having fun.
But then if you can get out of that though, he might be right next to Kislev, So I think we might,
I give him a C. I
can see.
The Lord himself is literally amazing. Like, there's nothing bad about Castal. It's just the area he starts at.
That's just fun.
Yeah, so we can definitely give him a C. Let me look for his flag here. Give me 1 sec. Okay, so this next faction that we're going to be talking about here is led by none other than Boris Ursus. He's a Kislevite who's currently heading the faction Ursine's Revivalists. So this man is running his own campaign into the Chaos Oasis. So to give you guys what Boris is about here, he is a Hellbird-based infantry unit who is also anti-large. He does armor piercing, and he is also armored. So
what do you mean? Halberds are all anti-large, you fucking idiot.
No, wow. No, I'm just saying, as in, I mean, you don't know. He could be something.
All you could have said, since he's a halberd unit, he's also anti-large, because all halberd units in Total War are anti-large.
Fight me, Dipper.
He is kind of spin, though.
All right, so where was I? He's a Hellbird infantry, anti-large, armor piercing, armored. There, fight me. So his active abilities is Fury of Urson. He gets Foe Seeker, Deadly Onslaught, and Stand Your Ground. While campaign only, he gets Rally. Passive abilities, he gets Heroic Resilience. Items that he can acquire are Shared Blade, Armor Urson, and unique items that he gets, probably through unique quest lines, is Shard Blade and Armor of Urson. The mounts that he gets is a Warhorse or Earthskin. Those are the only 2 mounts that he gets. So within the Immortal Empires campaign, he starts out with 2 units of Zarguards, 2 units of Armored Corsairs, and 2 units of War Bear Riders. So his Lord effects is Upkeep, minus 50% for War Bear Rider units. That's if they're in the Lord's army or his army. He gets a +7 leadership when fighting against Warriors of Chaos, Daemons of Chaos, and Norska. And he gets +9 melee when fighting against Warriors of Chaos, Daemons of Chaos, and Norska. So his character traits are, he gets his personal trait, which is called the Red Czar. He gets, again, that's his, he gets his upkeep and stuff like that, so it's really nice, really unique. His defeat trait is the Red Dead, which means leadership +8 when fighting against Warriors of Chaos, Daemons of Chaos, and also Norska. So Derper, go ahead and go more in depth with our boy here, Boris.
Okay, so Boris is, well, first off, you have to unlock Boris in the main campaign, the Realm of Chaos, by either playing as Katarina or Kastalton. And you hold the three major cities in Kislev, Kislev, Prague, and Urangard for 10 turns, and then you'll do a quest battle. And after the quest battle, you can choose to either make him join your army, so that means you have him as a lord to move around and stuff and control, or you can make him come back as his own faction, and I think he takes over one of the major cities. I'm not 100% sure. For Immortal Empire start wise, he's definitely a pretty good lord. you just got to deal with a lot of demon factions, considering he's up in the Chaos Waste, fucking going around killing demons just for Ursa and all that, because he's like, fuck the demons, how dare they invade the homeland. Pretty good. As always, he starts off with the bear, which is pretty good mount, good nice bear mount. Then you just gotta deal with demons. Like Daemon Prince, he's pretty fucking easy. Like, sure, he just keeps coming back, but if you just focus him in the battle, he can't do fucking nothing. He's just fucking just paper mache. Your biggest threat is definitely Archaon, because he is just right fucking. He's there to your right. And whatever CA did to Archaon when they did the Warriors of Chaos rework, oh boy, this man was like, before in the older games, he was like the younger brother. This is the big brothers. Like, I heard you talking shit, huh? You're next to Frog as well, so you get the big troll guy. He might come sail over, smash you with his big hammer because he's the true king.
I'll give Dalton this. I mean, not Dalton, my bad. Boris this. I actually kind of like his start. I don't think he has anything actually besides Archaon too much to worry about.
Yep.
Like the Daemon Prince is kind of a pushover.
Yeah. Like as soon as you like wipe him out, pretty simple. Just like Archaon, you just gotta really focus him down. Daemon Prince, you can easily just like sweep him under the rug. He's
the easiest to kill.
He is so fucking like holy shit! Like in a battle, he is just
underwhelming lord.
Yeah, especially even later on, if he survives and he dedicates himself to like either Undivided or one of the fucking Chaos Gods, even all them extra body parts, extra augmentations, he just flatlines.
Like I am trying to get a campaign with him. He just gets murdered in 5 seconds if he's in the range of archers.
Yeah. It's just
not even worth it. Like you've seen, like I would rather go Kairos than him, because at least Kairos can take like some fucking shots.
Yep.
And
he's like fucking paper mache.
Since I don't have experience with Boris, I'm let you guys have on with the grading of Boris.
I have zero experience.
Boris, pretty good fucking lord. If he can get in the fight, he can easily hold himself. He's pretty good in fight. You can't fuck with him. With all the fucking abilities he gets, like Foe Seeker, helping catch up, get into that fucking Gist without losing much bigger, Deadly Onslaught, buffing his damage as well as his Fury, reversing, giving him extra damage and causing fear. So, or not fear, terror. So that means whenever you're like in the thick of it, and you're against people who don't have like immune to psychology or immune to like terror, he can easily just like break leaderships and stuff. Like nothing can stop him. Even his two items, the armor reversing and the shard blade, are pretty good goddamn items.
I like his starting area, and I heard what his faction effects was. I heard his lord effects. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this lord. Like he's actually really fucking good. He's like Dalton if he wasn't held down by 3 other dicks. Like I would give him an A. A or an S.
I think, my opinion, he's definitely A plus.
Like I don't think he's S because he starts next to Archaon. That is a fight in its own that you have to deal with.
Yeah, especially if you don't focus him down first. Like if you focus more on like the Daemon Prince and the minor, like,
and then Archaon's just gonna go left and kill you. Like
and the minor demon factions, it just gets annoying.
And also, you do start next to Hagreath, or what's his name? Yeah, Hagreath. That's his faction.
Malice.
Darkblade. If you piss him off, you are not having a good time. It's a ticking time bomb.
I'll go with y'all's judgment on him. So we drop him up in A plus. So we're going to play with now, which is Miao Ying and Xiao. We're going to start with Miao Ying. So Miao Ying, she's a beautiful, sexy woman, especially if you use the yes, hey, straight up, dude. Especially if you use that what do you call the luxurious sexy mod? You know, stage 2. Yes.
Oh, hell no. Plus, dude. You guys need help. You guys need drenched in water.
Eye candy is amazing.
You need to go under a waterfall and meditate.
Make a whole new fucking character.
Yes.
Call it Queen.
So
hell no.
So Miao Ying, so she's the wizard, of course. Of course, she gets spellcaster, so she can cast spells. She gets her harmony amplifier of plus 100% units, which means that this unit increases harmony bonuses of nearby units by 100%. Only the strongest empire bonuses applied. She's armored, and also she gets melee expert. So because she has melee expert, means that she's not afraid to get down and dirty within her human form, but also she gets a dragon form as well. So Miao Ying, her spells are based off the lore of Yin and the lore of life. So it's kind of like a hybrid spellcasting here. So with that said, she gets Earth Blood, Storm of Shadows, Missile Mirror, Flesh to Stone, Regrowth, Talons of Night. That's freaking badass. So she gets some active abilities, of course. Transformation of the Dragon, Wrath of the Storm. Her for campaign only sake, she gets Eye of the Storm, Foe Seeker, Deadly Onslaught, Rally, and Stand Your Ground. Now she does have passive abilities, and this one's only in her dragon form. She gets Aura of the Majesty, Arcane Conduit, Disdain of the Dragons, Power of Yin, and Life Bloom. And for campaign, also she gets the passive ability Evasion. So her starting units within Immortal Empires is 2 units of Jade Warriors, 1 unit of Peasant Long Spearmen, 1 unit of Celestial Dragon Crossbowmen, 1 unit or 2 units, of Jade Warrior Crossbowmen, and 1 Sky Junk. So, therefore, go ahead and tell us about Miao Ying, my man. Tell us.
Tell me why she deserves ass.
Yes, tell me why.
Oh my god. Okay, so Miao Ying is the Storm Dragon. She holds the northern provinces of Grand Cathay. She is tasked with the most important task of all, to defend the Great Bastion, the greatest city in all of Grand Cathay, that has a wall that separates Cathay from the Chaos Waste outside the doors. So when you play Miao Ying, if the three parts of the wall, the Snake Gate, the Dragon Gate, and the Turtle Gate, aren't held, then you're increasing what is a meter called the Coogan Warband. So occasionally you have to be on guard, because at some points in the game, a Coogan Warband is just a fucking bullshit rogue army that'll just keep spawning and just want to keep breaking down them walls, opening up Grand Cafes like innocent people to the pillages and the horrors of chaos. So usually when you get the gates under the control, whenever you do confederate with the minor faction that holds there, because in the realm of chaos she starts next to the wall, so she can easily hold it. But in the Mortal Empire, she starts a bit further away, so you gotta make sure you get a decent foothold and control them walls, especially because you have a village outside going, surprise, bitch. But you're gonna have to keep an eye on him because he can teleport Sans over. Combat wise, pretty fucking strong. Because she is Grand Cathay, she has access to the one of 2 lores that only Grand Cathay has access to, and that is the lore of Yin. But on top of the lore of Yin, she also gets lore of life. So she's got Earth Blood, she's got Regrowth, she's got Flesh to Stone. She has got all the good, decent fucking spells from that thing. Nice healing and good old fucking physical resist. As well as some of the new spells like Storm of Shadows. That's a stationary vortex. Does good. I mean, that's talents. I think I can't remember which ones. I rarely use them spells. But the one thing that's pretty good is Missile Mirror. If you are fighting against an army that is ranged heavy, so for example, the Tzeentch with all their pink horrors and exalted pink horrors and blue horrors, if you just Missile Mirror them, they'll just be shooting themselves like big fucking idiots. It's like pretty fucking good. And on top of it all, because she is a dragon, she has 2 health bars, kind of like with Malice and Zarkan, where you can just. But the thing is, she can switch between, unlike Malice and Zarkan. So it's pretty good. You can cheese battles and survive a bit longer. When she's in dragon form, she is limited to her spell casting, but it doesn't matter because she will be whipping ass and everything when she is in her dragon form. The mechanic with the Great Harmony mechanic with Cathay makes it pretty good. So you got to plan your research as well as plan your buildings. And also when fighting in the actual combat, keep your melee units close to your range units so you get that nice effectiveness, increasing the reload skill. Her Star Army, pretty good. Sky Junks are amazing. Nice long-range artillery, but since they are a flying unit, they are fucking easily wiped out with range units. Like, they're just gone. That's it. Like nothing else. They have like shit armor. They just get peeled. So that's why you keep them in line. I like how the way Grand Cathay works, because to me it feels like it's kind of like with Bretonia. Your starting units are like peasants, but then like later on you can just replace them with trained warriors to eventually the ones that help guard the fucking Dragon Emperor themselves. Like Terracotta Sentinels, like you don't want to fuck with them. They're big unbreakable stone dudes with a bow staff. I don't think
I would say
anyone else could
I
beat
don't
them.
know, Dirk, because I don't know, because I had some Skaven Rattling gunners last night straight through. So
that's because Skaven's broken right now. We all know that.
Here's the thing: if you let Clan Eshin run amok and you let them get them Gatling gunners from the contract of Clan
So the problem
Skryre,
is,
then you
Clan
failed.
Eshin, they probably won't get Rattling Gunners. Remember, they get a high fucking thing, like upkeep.
Yeah, but they
Not
can
Eshin.
easily do. But if the AI is smart, they'll get clan contracts for them.
Yeah, but I don't think the AI is smart to do that.
But other than that, pretty good lord, good strength, good abilities, good spellcasting, good in melee, good lore tree, good balance in army, good units, and if you play your cards right, you will win. Back to Zalko, because he's been recently playing the Dragon Twin, so you can tell him about, so he can Craigasm.
I love everything about their starting areas and how they play. This is probably one of my because beforehand I was playing all of the Daemons, the new champions of chaos. I was playing all four, well not four. I haven't been playing Valkia. I've been playing Azazel, Village, and Festus, trying to figure out how good they truly are. And I was neglecting my dragon duties, man. Like, let me tell you, this faction is probably one of the best that ever came out with this fucking game. Like, everything about their lores is just amazing. Their starting areas, and I would say in both sides, are just amazing. And there's just nothing really bad I can say about this faction. Like, she's just, I'm not simping, guys. She's just,
I will.
She's just one of just. She just has a good starting area. It's like they gave her just privilege to be in areas. Like, it's ridiculous on how good this faction is, and how they start and how they can just like, because if you look on the map, look at that. There's no one but Clan Eshin for miles. Like, there's small factions, but those are easy to deal with. But look at that. Village is all the way to the right. Look here, Fellheart's all the way to the right. Eshin is the only one you got to worry about. The brother, if he ever, I don't think he'll ever go to war with you. And then to the left, you have Koleg Sun Eater that will probably take on Grom, or Grom will kill Koleg. So literally, your only like worry is early Eshin. So you got to deal with him early because he'll have. And I've had this happen before. If you ignore him, he will have up to a full province and starting to take over Lokir Fellheart if he hasn't tried hard enough. Because Lokir is not good enough to beat Eshin. I don't think he is. But it's just, then after that, there's nothing. Because Koleg is going to be too busy handling with vassals and getting stuff up there. So he won't even, unless you piss him off diplomacy-wise, and then he just randomly declares war on you and then comes straight right, which is probably going to be the case when you're going into early game. But besides that, because if you're friends with your brother and he gets plus diplomacy with Ogre Kingdoms, there's no reason the Ogre Kingdoms should really be going to war with you too, because you're making diplomacies with him. So literally, it's like you have a pretty decent shield, so you can just start like getting your money, getting the caravans, getting units built up, building up to that early game, getting terracottas, and then also getting the early game. I don't remember what they're called.
It looks like basically. Wait, we forgot about mechanic, y'all. They also get the caravan mechanic too. So
yeah, that's what I was just saying.
Okay, my bad. Okay.
Yeah, because the thing is
that's how you build your money is by working with
caravans. Yeah, so, especially because they don't have any they don't have quest battles to get items. So if they want if they want really good items, if you send caravans to places in the world, they come back as soon as they arrive with really good fucking purple items.
So I'm at the I don't know if we can all agree on this, but Cathay, it looks like they have to get an S, either A+ to an S. Because
that's an S for me. Yeah, that's S for me. Fucking Miao Yin, get her up there.
Cathay's amazing. Shit, you might as well put the brother in there too, because
Well,
I'm
we
gonna
gotta-
say the same
well,
fucking shit.
We gotta talk about them. There's
well-
there's a unique difference.
Bro,
Yeah,
I'm telling you, they have the same exact start, but it's just amazing. Like this is probably the best faction in the game right now, unless you're Archeon the Ever Chosen.
Well, I'm Archeon. All right, so while we're here on the subject, then let's talk about the brothers. Then let's talk about Xiao Ming.
I'm not done talking about Miao Ying.
Hey, you
Okay,
Put
quit
her back on the
sipping.
screen. No.
So with Xiao, just like how the sister is Ying, Xiao is Yang. So Xiao deals with the lore of Yang and also the lore of metal. So he gets Plague Rush, Dragon's Breath, Wall of Wind and Fire, Glittering Robe, Constellation of the Dragon, and Final Transmutation as his spells in throughout the game and / campaign. Active abilities that he gets is Transformation of the Dragon. He gets Master for his campaign only. He does get Master Alchemy Flaming, Master Alchemy Piercing.
No. That's one option only.
Oh, okay. You can. Okay.
Yeah, Master Alchemy is the base one, and then in the skill tree you choose one of the three, that's what replaces it.
So let me rephrase this then. He can choose one of the 3 masteries, which is Mastery of Flaming, Mastery of Alchemy. I'm sorry, Alchemy Piercing, and Mastery of Poison.
Now,
So you got
I'm
a
not
choice
gonna
to choose.
lie, Sean.
Mhm.
If you were to put in an S+ on this tier list, I'd do it now. I'm putting him in S+.
So
Oh my god, he
gets
is so fucking good.
So he gets Foe Seeker, Deadly Onslaught, Rally, and Stand Your Ground. Passive abilities that he can get is Arcane Conduit, Strength of Yang, Metal Shifting, Hardened Scale, which is in Dragon form only, and Warding Iron. Campaign only, he gets Regeneration
oh my god,
and
they
also
can't say
Evasion.
iron correctly. Cringe.
Iron. We're Americans here. Okay. So in Immortal Empires, the starting army gets is 2 units of Jade Warriors, 2 units of Peasant Long Spearmen, 2 units of Peasant Archers, 1 unit of Great Logma Riders, which are freaking amazing, by the way.
And
1 unit
the
of
best
Fire, Rain,
thing in
Rocket.
the game, Fire, Rain, Rocket.
Fire,
Oh
Rain,
my
Rocket.
god,
Yes.
that beats the
unit is so broken.
Yes.
that beats the rocket
Yes.
battery for the Empire.
It's so ridiculous.
Which rocket battery? The Resident Renown or the one without that can't really have good accuracy?
Default.
The default one. We're not talking about. We're not
If
talking
you
about
put it against
Regiment of Renown.
Renown, that's just unfair. 'cause
Yeah, that's
Regiment of
unfair.
Renown-
You stupid bitch.
So
Damn,
toxic.
damn.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. All right, so
Look.
Darper, yeah, dumb Scottish man. Let me go Scottish on you now. Go ahead and go
Even
in great,
you
in
can't
great
even do
details.
Scottish.
Did you talk about how he gets plus with everything for Ogre Kingdoms?
Oh no, I didn't. That's
So
what
he
that's Derper's
he
job.
didn't even talk about
That's
it.
Derper's job.
No. You said trade last time.
Go into full detail.
Yeah,
about
Derper,
the
go
man.
into full detail, Derper.
Okay. So the boy, the homie, the man himself, my favorite of the 2 dragons, Xiao Ming. Let me tell you something about this man. This man is an economic mastermind. He gains more money with caravans. He is so fucking good because in the lore it fits so well. Well, Miao Ying is all about protecting Cathay and not trusting the outsiders. This man loves the outsiders. He knows they bring in the money, as well as the alchemy. Lore of metal. I tell you what, that shit is so fucking good. To top it off with Lore of Yang, the passive winds effects of both lore, Strength of Yang and Metal Shifting, everyone in your army is going to be hitting like a truck for that small period of time after you cast a spell. Now here's the unique thing about him that makes him better than Miao Ying. He can stay in the fight even longer than her, because he has regeneration when he gets it. If he even drops below that 25% threshold, he has a 1 use of 40% ward save for 30 seconds. Now you're telling me that ain't strong? You better leave the fucking room right now. And top it all off, Wall of Wind and Fire is a disgusting wind
the best
spell.
spell in the game.
It is like fucking Wind
Besides
of
Wind of Death.
Death. It's like Wind of Death, but even fucking better. Like, holy Jesus. And like, as always, because he is Grand Cathay, you gotta keep the harmony and balance, yo. You gotta balance yin and yang, because if you don't, that shit is whack. As well as he is, especially if the Ogre AI that's just nearby, you can just have fucking so many ogre like units in your army because he just has reduced upkeep for mercenaries. Because
I love that about Xiao, because he can get ogre. He profits off having the ogres or whatever. Like he gets an upkeep minus for him.
Yeah.
I think that's the best thing ever, because if you remember his starting, this is why I say he has probably, besides his sister, he probably has one of the best starting areas. He starts fighting like another Grand Cathay place or whatever.
Yeah, like the Gang Yao rebels. Like both of them fight like rebels.
Yeah. If you go and get, I would say, because obviously the AI ain't gonna level up. If you get lucky enough that an Ogre King's AI puts down an encampment and you can recruit one of Ogre Bulls, if they have peasants, they are getting demolished by that thing. They are getting demolished by Ogre Bull charge. It is so ridiculously good.
Yep. Ogre charge is pretty fucking good. I remember when they added it in Warhammer 2, when they added them as camps. It was disgusting.
Well,
literally everything this guy has helps him win the fucking game.
So, just like you said earlier, Zog, would you say he gets a S plus?
He deserves S plus. He is one of the best lords.
And to top it off, his own lord effect, magic item drop chance 100%. You're always going to get an item. You are always going to get an item.
Yes.
And ever since they added the thing where you can fuse items together of the two the same rarity and same type,
you're just easily profit.
You're just making god items, and you can just sell the old ones that you don't fucking need. Like, get the fucking trash out of here. Or you just save them to make something better.
Xiao is he is so fucking good. He's just so amazing. Like, there's nothing I can say that bad about him. Like, literally, the only bad thing that could ever happen is if Eshin gets out of hand. That's it.
Yeah, Deathmaster Snitch.
And either way, if you did like get, I would say 2 or 1 thing of ogre mercenaries, that's fucking good too. Because fucking Skaven are gonna have to deal with that. Because Eshin, he's gonna have slaves, Skaven slaves. Depending on your playthrough, he's gonna have slaves, and the ogre bulls are gonna eat those things alive, literally. Yeah. Like, it is just so. And then plus the fucking, you get the goddamn fucking firework thing, the rain rocket. That thing murders armies. Like, you don't even need, like, it's a unit of 2, and they're just shooting like hell on your enemies. Like, I've never seen such a ridiculous faction before.
And it's
like, then also you do start out with the Great Longma Riders, I think that's the best flying unit in the game.
So, with that said, here we're going to be talking about the 4 chaos gods within this game. We're going to talk about
Greater Demon time.
It's the greater demons: Khorne, Tzeentch, Slaanesh, and Nurgle.
Maybe I shouldn't talk about Slaanesh.
All right, so the next lord that we're going to be discussing today is the Chaos Lord of Khorne himself, Scarbrand the Exile. This man is a macho man of many things. Such a hunk, such a fiery beast. All right, so as you guys know, Scarbrand is a monster. He's a daemon. He gets armor piercing. He's armored. He also gains flaming attacks, and he also causes terror around enemy units. So he gets a couple active abilities, which is Bella of the Fury, Wrathful Reaper, Rage Embodied. For campaign only, he does get Rage Incarnate. His passive abilities is fueled by Rage. Now, for the campaign only, he gets Gore Feast, Kill for Khorne, Revel, and Slaughter. And the item that he can get, which is a unique item to him, is Slaughter and Carnage. So, within the Immortal Empires campaign, he does start out with 2 units of Chaos Warriors of Khorne. He also starts off with 3 units of Bloodletters, which are freaking amazing daemons. And then last but not least, he starts with a Chaos Warhound. So his Lord effects, or his personal effects, his personal trait is the Exiled one. He gets campaign movement range plus 25 after winning a battle, and recruitment cost minus 35% when in enemy or raised territory. His defeat trait is Blood Quencher, charge bonus plus 5 for Lord's army, and weapon strength up plus 8%. Now, Derper, give us more of Khorne in more detail.
Okay, so with the Greater Demons of Khorne, they have their own unique resource, which is skulls, because blood for the blood god and skulls for the skull throne, obviously. The thing is, with with Khorne, especially right now, only the exiles of Khorne, the greater demons, they only seem to able to not. They shouldn't be able to colonize many settlements. You just need to colonize like the capital, and then that's it. Because they have a building that helps increase the chance as well as research to instantly colonize like nearby ruins. Because you just want to be safe in this. Yeah, whatever, Nibba. Yeah. Because whenever you want to colonize, you have to pay the skull. You gotta pay the skull tone because Khorne does not settle. He is all about blood and murder. For it doesn't matter where the blood comes, as long as it gets spilled. And to top it all off, because he is a greater demon faction, all the greater demons of Khorne get a unique thing called manifestations. Now, each of the Chaos Gods have 4 unholy manifestations. If you want more of the unholy manifestations, besides the first one, you gotta spread Khorne corruption, or whatever the greater demon corruption is, around the world. Because that's the only way, because the 4 Chaos Gods, they're just playing the great game to see who comes out on top, which of the brothers will succeed, and which of the others will fall. So his first one is Eternal War. It lets you spawn a hostile army right next to the lord you've selected. So some easy farm for XP and to get some skulls. And to top it off, especially because with Scarbrand, he gets that extra movement range after he wins a battle. So it's pretty good to help catch up or run amok. Now, in the game, there will be events where one of the 4 Chaos Gods ascends in the Great Game, and when they ascend, it buffs the manifestations, making them a bit stronger. So if Khorne is the Ascendant, the hostile army is no longer small that spawns, it is huge. So more XP means more levels, because how they did it in Warhammer 3, the only way to get good XP is by fighting lots and lots of armies at the same time. The second unholy manifestation is the Call of Battle. When you use it, when Khorne is not ascendant in the Great Game, it's 50% extra movement range for how many? For 1 turn. So easily a good boost if you want to catch up to someone and make sure they don't run away. If he is the ascendant, is 100%. So you're doubling your max campaign range, which is pretty good if you want to travel around the world. The third one is Slaughter Incarnate. It increases all the skulls you gain from kills by 100%, so you're just getting more skulls for that yummy, tasty throne. If he is ascendant, it is doubled, so 200%, which is amazing. His last and final one, Khorne's Glaze. But doing so, you really can't move for 3 turns, so you gotta make sure you're in a nice area. Like, you gotta make sure you're, nice. You don't want to get, butt-fucked by 3 armies in 1 row. But even then, Scarbrand can easily handle it. He bench presses planets. You can look at Goku and be like, bitch, I can do better than you. But while you can't move, the army can't move, the local settlement will be raised upon completion. So if you're near, a nearby enemy settlement, it's gone. Boom, raised completely, and then you just get 1,000 skulls. If Khorne is a great game, it is 15,000. So it goes up by an extra 5,000. So that is a lot of skulls to be spending on some research, maybe some colonizing, and also the blood reaping mechanic. The blood reaping mechanic is gives you extra movement range whenever you just go walking about going whack, 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 which is pretty nice. Now, Scarbrand himself, any greater demon of Khorne, whenever you open their skill tree, their yellow line is all about weapon strength, because you just gotta hit hard to take them home to mommy. Now, here's the thing. Even though he is an exalted bloodletter, Scarbrand cannot fly, because he is the exile of Khorne. He gets tricked by a Tzeentch demon to fight his own master, and his master was furious. So he fractured his mind and tore his fucking wings holes in them. He still has them, but you just can't use them. So he is forever in a frenzy, always fighting and not stopping. Now, his unique abilities, as mentioned by our great host, the rage embodiment is pretty good because when you activate it, enemies around you rampage because it's all about the slaughter. Everyone slaughters. You slaughter, I slaughter, we slaughter. It's pretty fucking good. Especially if you're using it just to help wipe out some units that you don't want to escape. Now, a Mortal Empire start is something called the Southland Thunderdome because he is smack dab in the middle of Cetra, Malagor.
Nerfer, I got
Yes.
this. Are you
Okay? Yeah,
I
sure.
got
You
this.
got go,
Yeah,
King.
yeah, that's his part. Yeah.
I got this.
You go, King.
Y'all
Go,
ever watch
King.
Mad Max? This
Yeah.
guy is the like king of that fucking shit. He's the guy in the like car chasing them in the big truck, okay? He is the madman of the fucking Suburban Bowl. If you are playing Scarbrand, there is no reason you should not be winning this campaign. Like, you are smack dab in the middle. You don't have to worry about getting settlements because you, like Derper said, you can just raise them all and move on to the next thing. And the only issue I'd say that you would have is literally Malagor because he's a spellcaster. But even then, you're playing Khorne. So you have like some resistance, I believe, right?
Yeah, Khorne.
15%.
If you get high, of Winds of Magic, because all the greater demons they still have Winds of Magic even if they don't have a spellcaster. Because if they have it above 75, they gain extra physical resist and more replenishment rate. And the thing is, the unique thing with Khorne is he gains extra magic resist for all his units because Khorne hates spellcasting. And the way of the dwarves, every spellcaster is a Wazik.
Yeah, Scarbrand agrees with that fully. But to continue this, the reason why I say Scarbrand is the madman king of this fucking area. The fact that he starts smack dab in the middle of all this chaos, he is in the middle. Everyone around them is fighting someone else. You're fighting the top knots. That's how you start. You go left and fight top knots, and then you just raise all their settlements. You don't worry about settling one. There's another major like settlement over there to the left. You can claim the like main settlement if you want it, but I wouldn't even recommend it. Or I would recommend it, but I wouldn't. I would just continue to keep fucking going and then keep getting those research skill trees done. Because in his research, he gets, if you get early, you can change that 5% that you already have for getting random settlements, and you can change it to a 10%. Because he will get a research thing that'll give him 5% more. So
Yep.
you're already getting 5% more. And then if you do in his building where you focus more on what's it called? Settling randomly or whatever. He has another, I think, a 5%, right?
Yep.
Yeah, something like that. They have
So
a unique building.
you're getting 15% per turn, which is still a low chance. But the idea is that you don't stop moving. You keep going until there's no one left on this dust bowl. That is your job as Scarbrand. You are supposed to just eradicate this whole area. You like Cetra, maybe a problem, but in the end of the day, if you kill the top notch and then deal with the what's his name, Atharian, whatever the fuck his name is,
Elfari the Grim.
yeah, you can deal with him easily because the high elves are nothing compared to Khorne. Fuck them, you know what I'm saying? Wipe them out easily, and then you can immediately go down to Cetra, and then Cetra, he is in trouble because Tomb Kings, I don't know if they're in a good spot right now, but their AI, I don't think they're in a good spot right now.
Especially
I
because they're
think they are
undead.
struggling. And you're playing Khorne versus undead.
Every Khorne unit has
fire
flaming attacks.
Just fucking kill him. You just fucking kill him.
Pretty much.
And then after that, you can go after Manfred if you want to. Kill him. Then who's that below? That's a dwarf, right?
Yeah,
that white flag?
that's Foric. That's Foric Ironbrow.
Floric Ironbrow. Kill him. Shouldn't be that hard. You're
Then
playing.
go
like
left.
I said, you're playing
Take care of
Khorne.
yeah,
I
go
don't
take out
playing Khorne.
take
I
out
feel like-
Volkmar. Fuck him, he a bitch.
I don't know. I feel like the thing that's gonna make it rough though, which you all forgetting that yes, even though he is Khorne, you gotta remember that Tomb Kings can definitely be really annoying. And what I mean by annoying is that they do get free armies or free upkeep. So if I recall, so for
Yeah,
the
they
skill
don't.
to
They
work,
don't. They don't. They don't pay.
But the
upkeep.
issue is that because the pathing that I said you should go on at that point in your major building the one that I said that you should leave alone and like let it just capitalize buildings for you. That building at that point should be making you exalt to bloodletters. Like you should be able to have exalt to bloodletters at that point
even though
because it starts you in the second tier, and then all you have to do is get again, and then you get I think you can get a cultist of Khorne.
Oh my god,
And then-
cultists. The
yeah,
cultist
you don't
heroes
need-
in
you
these greater
You don't need the
demons
cultist,
are
but you can get
king.
it if you want to. But then,
No, you need them. They are king.
need it?
Well, that's just the only issue is that even though
'Cause-
like you can counter
Oh my
the
God.
you could counter the Tomb Kings. It's just the only issue is that you'll have one army for quite some time. They'll just you destroy your army. This is the same reason why
well,
with Volkmar
no,
the
you
Grim,
won't have one army.
Ever
You do the bloodletting. Remember
Yeah.
the thing where you raise it and then another army shows up?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you
the
do
blood-
that,
yeah, the bloodletting gives you
Yeah,
an
you
army.
want that's what you want to do. When you take out top knots and all them, when everything is done and over there, you bloodletting, go immediately south, deal with Sestra and Manfred.
Oh
And then
my
after
god.
that, you deal with the dwarf or whatever who's right there. And then after that, you want to go up. You want to go up, get rid of the savage orcs, and then get rid of, I think, what's Haven Bastard?
Quick head taker.
Quick Head Taker. You want to get rid of him. This under this dome, this fucking like Mad Max wasteland, you should be the king at Scarbrand.
That's that's the key word that you should be, but it's still
You should be. Something can go wrong. Don't get me wrong.
So,
Something can go wrong.
I would love to throw Scarbrand probably around an A to A plus.
I would even give him an A minus in my opinion.
Nah, he gets an S in
I
my
would give him an A
opinion.
minus if you
I give
wanted
him an
to,
S.
But I would give him an A. I'm not giving him an S because I don't think his army deserves that. Because
Oh,
like I
he
said,
does.
anything can go wrong.
No, he deserves
well,
it.
yeah, like that's the only thing because he's in the south. Any wrong turn that you don't anybody that you don't mess with, like that messes with
If
you.
you
out of
don't
the blue,
fight the right people and you're not constantly moving, because his lord effect after winning a battle you get 25, and then
Okay.
plus, like Derper said, the manifestation, you fight
Mhm.
another army for more XP and more movement rage. You
Mhm.
should be moving. Like there is no reason you should be stopping. Like you should be done with top knots 5 turns in, maybe 5 or 10 turns in.
but yeah, I think I think A should be like the medium ground. A, yeah.
No,
I wouldn't give him an S just because Scarbrand himself is cool, but the only thing about him, he doesn't really benefit his army at all. Like that's the one thing. He doesn't have anything that, like, you know how like some armies have like like abilities to like buff their units. Like Throg has horrible regeneration for trolls or bonus leadership for them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scarbrand is all about one and only Scarbrand.
Hey, it's a one-man army.
Be buffing him. You should be killing with him. You should be winning with him. That's his issue. But the issue is with Khorne units, they're good, but like they can't live forever.
Well, also if in battle, they're not really mobile like a lot of other factions.
Yeah, they're
like,
I think they're probably the third slowest besides Nurgle, because Nurgle is fucking
like,
slow shit.
I'd be like in the right hands, especially if you're playing as a Skaven player, you can steamroll.
Yes, like he
steamroll
can
him.
get out easily maneuvered. But like what I've said, this is still AI, so they shouldn't be that smart to outmaneuver you. They should be head brushing you. But like I said, if you're playing it right, if you're playing around Scarbrand, you're using him to kill people. You're using him to be able to stomp armies. He can be a good leader. I'll give him an A. I'm not giving him an S. His army is not that great.
Oh my god, I am giving him an S.
Okay, so we're going to be moving on to the next lord here, who is none other than the biggest and the fattest and the most disgustingest disease demon out there, Kugath Plaguefather. He controls Nurgle in Total War, Warhammer 3 and Immortal Empires.
Sorry, Plague who?
Plaguefather. I'm sorry. Did I say him right? Plaguefather? Yeah.
You said Plague Fervor first. I'm like,
oh, my bad. Well, okay. So he's a wizard. Of course, he gets armor piercing as well, and he also causes terror because he's basically considered a wizard / monster. He gets
all the greater demons cause.
He's a demon causes the terror because he's a demon.
He gets, of course, all his spells are the lore or lore Nurgle. He gets active abilities is Nurgling Tide, Plaguefather's Oration, Virulent Contagion. Campaign only, he gets Blight Swarm. Passive abilities, Nurgling Infestation, Slime Trail, Arcane Conduit, and Children of Nurgle. Campaign only, he gets Fotid Stench, Pestilent Decay, and Evasion. His unique item that you can attain within the game is called Necrotic Missiles. His starting army in Immortal Empires, he gets 2 units of Plague Bearers of Nurgle, 3 units of Nurglings, 1 unit of Plague Toads of Nurgle, 1 unit of Chaos Furies, and another unit of Plague Drones of Nurgle, which is Death Heads. Army or his Lord effects is Plague Weaver, Infection cost minus 50% for Lord's army. Nurgle corruption plus 2. Chance of plague spreading plus 15%. His defeat trait is air freshener. We literally call it air freshener. Chance of plague spreading minus 80%. And growth plus 30 in local province. All right, so Derper, go ahead and give us some Kugath in depth.
Okay, so like I mentioned with Scarbrand, he is a greater demon. Nurgle's greater demons get access to the Nurgle unholy manifestations. The first one he gets is called Pestilent Growth. For 2 turns, while your army can't move for these 2 turns, you gain 20% casualty replenishment rate, because here is the unique thing about Nurgle. He recruits units instantly, but they don't come at full health. They come a bit damaged, so over time they will replenish. So this is pretty good if you're in hostile territory and you just get some units that are really low and you just gotta want to pump them up for a bit, or maybe you just spawn an army and you just fill it full of units and you gotta fill it up. Because he can spawn them instantly, the thing is his units also have a capacity cap. So kind of like with Tomb Kings, whenever you build buildings, you increase that capacity. But the unique thing about Nurgle is he doesn't upgrade his buildings. You just build your building once, and then over time it will upgrade. The only way for it to stay at higher tiers longer, you got to upgrade the main capital building of it, like the main settlement. Otherwise, because Nurgle's all about a circle of life, all about life and death. So his buildings are always upgrading and downgrading, ever show keeping that balance. So, and his second effect was the Holy Infestation is Blessings of Nurgle. Well, for 3 turns where you can't move, you increase the chance of the plague spreading by 30%, because all demons of Nurgle gain access to the unique mechanic, kind of like with Grom the Paunch is like a plague cauldron where you develop plagues, you cook them up in that big nice pot, and you just scoop and then you feed them to your army. Or you spawn a cultist which is a 1 hero use, you can infect a settlement with that plague. So you just always want to be spreading these plagues, because some of the plague side effects can really help you out, like cause an attrition to the enemy, even stronger. Maybe make them so all their range units don't have much range and they can't shoot very well, or just make them really tired because it's very exhausting and all that fun stuff. His third one is Exponential Growth. For 3 turns, you increase the growth of nearby settlements by plus 200, so you can instantly try to cycle through them buildings pretty quicker so you can get them later units and also more capacity, as well as recruitment costs of minus 20%, so it's nice and cheap. His last one, Nurgle's Visitation. For 3 turns, you can't move, but after it's completed, a random plague will be given to every settlement and army in the province. So if you're in a nicely spread out province with tons of armies in there, you're just spreading Papa Nurgle's goodness all around. We love it. We love Papa Nurgle.
I'm scared.
Now,
Nurgle is about acceptance.
Because Nurgle is all about disease and all about that lovely stuff, most of the Nurgle units will have Poison Attack. Now, Poison Attack applies the debuff Poison, which nerfs a lot of stats on the enemies. Another thing with Nurgle, they all have a unique thing called Cloud of Flies. Whenever they're in melee combat, they gain extra melee defense. Nurgle units are built to withstand a beating. That's why they're always so slow. They have less speed, but they are nice and thick, and they can take a beating. Lord Nurgle has good healing, has good buffs, good debuffs, a nice breath weapon to help spread that poison, and a nice big boil just exploding, because why not?
Also,
Now,
fleshy abundance.
Yeah, that's the heal. Yummy. Mwah. Now, here's the thing. 100% good healing spell. Now, because Kugath's, especially, he buffs Nurglings. He loves Nurglings. He's all about keeping the younger demons of Nurgle, the mini image, the little babies, always so happy. So whenever he's around Nurglings, he gives them regeneration. So it helps keeps them in the fight. Also, he increases the capacity with his skill tree of Nurglings as well. So that is pretty good. If you go down his melee line, he gets a built-in Mortis Engine effect. So when he's out there kicking, he's just making everyone around him just taking the damage. because who doesn't want to take damage when getting kicked by a big huge demon sitting on a chair kicking you with what looks like a really bad infection on them feet, and oh my god, them some ugly ass toes. Now, it's recommended if you are playing Nurgle and you're playing battles manually and you're sitting and you're eating food, it's recommended not to do it with eating food because of the animations are very grotesque and bad for those with weak stomach. Now, I'm going to pass it over to my dear friend Zago, who'll tell us about his starting position.
All right. Now, Kugaf's a fickle mistress. He is definitely a fickle mistress. I have tons of experience playing this motherfucker. I've tried and tried as I must, but I hate his starting area. I do not like his starting area at all. I have played a Kugaf campaign. I have tried to get it to 100. I just think his starting area is boring. I feel like it's tedious, and I feel like it's underwhelming. The demon himself, I love him. I think he's one of my favorites, but I think his starting area is boring and underwhelming.
Okay, if you could move the Sonic position, where'd you place him?
If I could move him,
yeah,
I would move him back where he a place like that he was in the fucking place before, like with the somewhere north, I guess. You know what I would do? You know what I'd do? I would take, because I would like to see how this would work. I would take Azazel, and I would like to put him where he is, and then put him where Azazel is. And I want to see how that would work. I would want to see how that would work. Well, I feel like Azazel could make Helman Gorst his bitch.
Well, good thing there's a mod out there called Starting Positions, where whenever you play the game, whatever lord you pick, you can choose where they start.
Cheating. But that's cheating. But no, Derber's already mentioned this when he was just talking about this. Kugaf, he's very good. The army of Nurgle, amazing army. All about taking hits, all about regenerating, all about just being an obnoxious concept. The idea with Kugaf is that you want Nurglings. You want them. They're your little babies. They're your boys. So you want them to be able to, because they heal beginning of the game. Kugaf already gives them healing when he's around them. Plus there's a minus 35 recruitment cost. Plus they get, I think, 40% health when they spawn when he recruits them. So he's getting that plus already regenerating them. So he can win fights. It's just the area that he's at right now. It's so hard early game to be interested in his campaign. I feel like he has a boring campaign because it's like Tzeentch. Remember Tzeentch? We were just talking about him earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Not right now in the recording, but earlier.
Yeah, we're gonna.
It's tedious. That's what his thing is. It's tedious.
Because of what they did to Helman Gorst, make him and his whole army immune to plague.
Why I don't like him near Helman Gorst is because I believe Helman Gorst is immune to poison attacks, right?
Yep.
Yeah, everyone in his army is immune to contact effects, and he's also immune to plagues. So you're
fighting something that you can't even use your main army's effect on. That's just annoying. Okay, I'd say the redeeming part of Kugaf is that he gets the ability to make plagues, right? Mm-hmm. So you could get a cultist, one of the plague cultists or whatever that you can summon, and run him in the Harmon Gorst, and give him. He takes what's it called? Attrition, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. He's immune. That's what I'm saying. He's immune to plagues. Helman Gorst is immune to plagues.
So yeah, it's fucked. It's such a fucked area. I don't feel like Kugaf should be near Helman. I feel like put Azazel near him. Put Valkia near him. Put fucking I feel like Festus would Festus have a better time?
Yeah, because because Festus has his gameplay revolves around potions, and you can have potion for damage and also potion for healing, and you don't have to deal with the whole plague mechanic. So yeah, honestly,
I feel like someone else needs to fight this old fucking man.
Because
someone else needs to fight him.
Especially as if you're going to be Helman Gorst and he has all about regeneration, you can just fest his damage potion I'll just keep that shit down. It's like your own fiery, weight,
Especially because as soon as he gets his corpse card, he has that Mortis engine. So whenever he's in fighting, he's just always dealing damage.
But so where would you play? So where would you place our boy Kugath?
His-
Because I haven't played him, so this you guys' judgment. Here.
He, in my opinion, he doesn't deserve his army and his abilities to heal Nurgle. He, during when this game was coming out, was probably one of the most broken lords coming out. Because you would just build Nurglings, go in a circle, heal forever, never take damage, and just win the campaign. You literally bundle yourself up into a ball.
Blobbing.
Yeah, and then you just never take damage. But because of this thing, this fucking old guy on his fucking corpse cart, it ruins him. It ruins his campaign, and it makes it boring because you can't play Kugath. You're playing just orcs. You're just running your units into his units and seeing who fucking dies first. It's not fun. It's not a fun campaign. It is not a fun campaign. I would give him
a D.
I'd give him a fucking no, because he doesn't deserve a D. I'd give him a C.
I feel like he deserves a B at least.
I give him a B minus.
Let's level it out. Yeah, B minus. Yeah, B minus. Let's level it out.
I give him a B minus because his campaign is just boring. He is such a cool greater demon. I feel like Nurgle is the coolest greater demon. I love their faction. I love the design. It's just they put him next to the worst possible person. If anything, get rid of Harmon Ghost and put another vampire there.
All right. So with that said, though, we gave him a B minus. Let's talk about Tzeentch right now. Okay, so we're going to be speaking about Kairos Faithweaver, who's the leader of the Orcos of Tzeentch. So Kairos is a wizard, of course. He gets spellcaster, barrier, and causes terror. His lore is the lore of Tzeentch. So with that said here, his major spells within the campaign and also in just campaign. Well, yeah, campaign and multiplayer is Blue Fire Tzeentch, Harmonic Convergence, the Numeral Pendulum, Glean Magic, Regrowth in Tzeentch's Firestorm. Active abilities is Oracle of Eternity, Gaze of Fate. Campaign only, those Hidden in Time. In multiplayer only, he gets the Scroll of Destiny. His passive abilities is Greater Arcane Conduit, and he also fires Change. Now for campaign only, he gets a Prismatic Plurality, Seer of Destiny, Master of Fates, Wild Heart, Life Leeching, Kindle Flame, Rolling Skies, Life Bloom, Exorcism, Metal Shifting, and Smoke and Mirrors. Multiplayer only, he gets Life Leeching. Items that he major items, by the way, or special items is Staff of Tomorrow. Now, his starting armies is 3 units of Blue Horrors, 1 unit of Pink Horrors, 1 unit of Chaos Knights of Tzeentch, 1 unit of Chaos Furies, and 1 unit of Exalted Flamer of Tzeentch. Now, his personal lord effect is Oracle. He can unlock unique items that can be used to customize Kairos spell selection, enemy hero action success rate minus 50%, and also ambush defense stance plus 50% in Lord's army. The feat trait is Didn't See That Coming. Winds of Magic power reserve capacity plus 5 and spell resistance plus 15% for Lord's army. Now, Derper, go ahead and go more in depth with Kairos Fateweaver, or the Oracle of Tzeentch.
Okay, so Kairos Fateweaver, he's a greater demon of Tzeentch, so they get unholy manifestations as well. The first one is the Scarbrand of Insanity. When you're in enemy territory for 2 turns, you just don't move. You can't move the army. And after completion, you get his unique mechanic resource, Grimoires. Now, Grimoires can be spent in the Changing of Ways mechanic that all greater demons of Tzeentch will have access to. They can range from, you can see what anyone's doing on the map. You can transfer settlements, giving them to yourselves or just some another faction. You can break alliances, force rebellions, drain magic from someone and give it to yourself. You can what's the other one? You can predict enemy movement, so you'll be able to see what they're going to be doing for the next couple of turns. Like, where's this army going to go? Like, should I set up an ambush? All sneaky stuff. His second pick is Mutagenic Energies. You target an enemy, and for 1 turn, they will suffer attrition regardless if they're immune. So especially against people like fucking Frog, who is immune to all attrition, like Big Durfa, he's immune to all attrition, just boom, instant attrition for them. His second one is Magic Flare. For 3 turns, you increase the army you've given it, 250 extra barrier, and 20% extra range. Now, the unique thing about Tzeentch units, they all gain a barrier, so they have 2 hit health points or life bars for the Lord, the heroes, and the army units. So that means they can at least survive in battle a bit better and also a tiny bit longer. The last part of Tzeentch's unholy manifestations is Night of Madness. It takes 3 turns to complete and 5 and then you can't move, and then upon completion for 5 turns, your Winds of Magic reserves goes up by 15 per turn. Control in the local enemy populace is minus 50 and plus 25% Tzeentch corruption for any province that you're in. Now, the unique thing with Kairos, as mentioned in his Lord effects, he has unique access to shards and fragments. Now, in the skill tree, you spend these points and you'll have access to a casting item called the Fragment. Now, each of the fragments are from the 8 base winds: Gur, Shis, Akwesh, Azir, Gurin, Haish, Charmin, and Olga. I probably don't know how to fully pronounce them, but it's basically lore of fire, lore of metal, lore of shadows, lore of death, lore of beasts, lore of life, lore of heavens, and yeah, I think that's about it. And lore of light. Now, whenever you get each shard, it changes. So, if you get the fragment of the lore of beasts, and you get the upgrade of it, you get a Curse of Anarar and the Transformation of Cadron, but this replaces Glean Magic and Infernal Gateway. Whenever you equip these fragments, they replace 2 spells in your Lord of Tzeentch spellcasting pool, so that gives you a bit of that mix. Now, if you get the Lore of Death, you get the Purple Sun of Xeris and the Fate of Bojan, but it gets rid of your Treasons of Tzeentch and your Tzeentch Firestorm. Get the Lore of Fire Fragment, you get Piercing Bolts of Burning and Flaming Swords of Ruin, but you lose Gleam Magic and Infernal Gateway. If you get the Fragment of Heavens, you get the Comet of Cassandra and the Curse of the Midnight Wind, but you lose Treasons and Firestorm. Fragment of Life, Regrowth and Shield of Horns, but you lose Treason and Firestorm. Lore of Light, you lose Treason and Firestorm, but you get Time Warp and Debt of Amun-Thoth. If you get Lore of Metal, you get Transmutation of Lead and Final Transmutation, but you lose Glean and Infernal Gateway. And lastly but not least, if you get Lore of Shadows, the fragment of it, you get Orcum's Mind Razor and Penumbral Pendulum, which gets rid of Gleam and Infernal Gateway. So no matter what you do, you're losing one of your Vortex spells, and you're either losing your Gleam Magic Hex spell, or your debuff Treasons of Tzeentch. Now, the thing is with Lore of Tzeentch, pink fire of Tzeentch and blue fire of Tzeentch. Blue fire of Tzeentch is a magic missile spell. Pink fire of Tzeentch is a breath spell. The unique thing about them, they apply a debuff called Warp Flame. Now, Warp Flame makes enemy combatants take extra fire damage, and the thing with Tzeentch range units, so the pink horrors and blue horrors, they do fire damage, and so you're instantly buffing the damage them range units do. And holy heck, them units pack a punch. Like, goddamn. And the thing is with Kairos, he is a flying lord and a good spellcaster, so you can put him in and out, dropping all the spells, fucking up the enemy. Now, one thing I forgot to mention with the Evergreater Demons is each of the new factions, so all the Greater Demons, the Ogre Kingdoms, and Grand Cathay get a unique thing called Army Abilities. Now, with the Army Abilities, they can provide so many different things. So for Tzeentch, his first Army Ability, you increase your Winds of Magic recharge and power recharge when applied. Your second one lets you call in a medium bombardment rage that locks onto the enemy and hits them. His last one is another bombardment, but it's large, and you place it down in air and just watch it rain. Now, Kairos is pretty good because of his flying ability and the barriers. His army can withstand a bit of combat, so he can easily dip in, drop spells, and dip out, especially because everything in his army focuses around either range or spell casting, which is pretty strong. Now, with the changing of ways and also the fact that greater demons as each can manipulate the winds of magic. If you own at least one settlement in a province, you can open up this menu and increase the winds of magic as well as decrease the winds of magic. So if you ever want to make sure you're fighting, just buff up the winds of magic because you need high winds of magic with greater demons so to get that extra physical resist and casualty reflection rate. And also because he is Kairos, you are a spellcaster, you want your reserves pretty high so when you start the battle, you have enough magic that you can be in there, blasting spells away, whittling down your opponent to nothing. Now, because our dear friend has never played much of Kairos, his starting position is not the greatest. That's why in patch 2.2, they will be moving him and some other lords to a different starting position because he starts right next to Tierlist, as well as Tic-Tac-Toe, Krokgar, Auric Ironbrow, Oxyotl, and the bitch of the Warhammer lore, Manfred von Karstein. Now you're just chilling there, so you gotta press on and deal with the surrounding. Oxyotl will take a while because he is dealing with minor demon factions along that southern chaos ways, but you just gotta deal with a minor chaos, a minor lizardman faction, a minor high elf faction, and then you can either walk up to Tierlist or walk up to Tic-Tac-Toe, because either way, they will declare war on you and they will just keep coming at you. It is a battle of attrition, and if you survive well enough, you can really press on and show them the dominant of the changer of ways. Bend their will to your own will, for you can see the past and the future, but remember, you are blind to the present.
You're cringe.
So I would say, honestly, at least in his current state, Kairos is starting because his current starting position, it's very tedious and very boring. Because what you have to deal with is not just the major factions; it's just really the minor factions that hold you down. I would like to say to give Kairos at least a D, not complete.
He's a D, 100%,
but most definitely a D.
Yeah, he's a D. I would give him. The reason why I say we give him a D too is because he's not out of all the lords. I know I may have said this earlier for the Khorne one because Scarbrand is just technically it is just a better legendary melee lord. Kairos is a one-man mage doom bird, okay? He's amazing. The fact that he gets held down early is what kills him.
Yeah.
If he didn't get held down early, he'd dominate. He'd probably be the man of the fucking Dust Bowl, honestly. But as the way he is right now, he is just he's the strongest lord out of the four because of the spells and how much shit he can just do. But his starting area really holds him down.
Yeah.
D's a perfect spot for him. It just holds him down. When the update comes out and maybe he's in a better spot, higher, but for right now, not shit.
We're going to be talking about Nakari, who's the leader of. So get ready to get seduced, loose, and get your buttocks eaten. Okay, there you go. Okay.
Actually, probably do.
All right. So Nakari here, he's a spellcaster, of course. He gets armor piercing and also causes terror. He wields the lore of Slaanesh. He has active abilities of willing prey. He also, for campaign only, gets Foe Seeker and Deadly Onslaught. For passive abilities, he gets Soul Siphon, Harvester of Souls, Arcane Conduit, and Blissful Rapture. Again, for campaign only, he gets Harvester of Souls upgraded, Whisper of Glory, Glamour of Slaanesh, Allure of Slaanesh, Evasion. And for items, he gets the Wit Stealer Sword. So, in the Realm of Chaos and Immortal Empires, he both basically gets the same army here. He starts off with 2 Demonettes of Slaanesh, 1 Devoted Marauder of Slaanesh, 2 units of Devoted Marauders of Slaanesh, Hellflayers, Hellstriders of Slaanesh, 1 unit, of course, and also 1 unit of Fiends of Slaanesh. His personal trait or Lord effect is Seductive. Experience gain plus 50% each time a new faction is fought in battle. Seduced units cost minus 25%, and enemy leadership minus 4 in local region. Defeat trait is he gets experience gain plus 7%, and also he gets plus 6% speed. And once again, his defeat trait is called Tyrion Owes Me. So, Derper, go ahead and go more in depth with our boy Nakari.
Nakari, let me tell you something. He is my man. He is my favorite. I love Slaanesh. I love Nakari. Unholy Manifestations, the first one they get, Pain for Pleasure. For 6 turns, you immediately take some damage, but you get 6% campaign movement range, 6% speed, 6% weapon strength, 6% charge bonus. Slaanesh are all about going fast. They are the Sonic of the fucking demons. They zoom and they zoom. They go fast. They can easily outrun anything you throw at them. You try to shoot them down, they'll just dodge it. They give no fucks. If Slaanesh is ascendant in their great game, that all of that shit gets doubled. His second one, Carnival of the Damned. Well, in enemy territory, for 2 turns you can't move, but upon completion, you give negative 60 growth to the local enemy province and 100 devotees. Devotees are the Slaanesh, as the greater Slaanesh demons' unique resource, which can be used to spawn disciple armies, give your providence like either extra growth, extra control, extra recruit rank, recruitment cost reduction, or just give control and growth, which is pretty good. Also, if Slaanesh is ascendant, the growth penalty goes to minus 120. The third one, Infernal Martyrdom. For 4 turns, your seduce unit budget goes up by 100%, and you do 8 plus 8 corruption of Slaanesh. Here is the thing: Slaanesh units and Slaanesh factions can seduce enemy units. So before the battle, you have a budget and you have a limited number of units you can seduce. Now this budget also eats into your treasury, so make sure you have the money, because if you're gonna win the battle, just seduce the enemy's strongest units if you can, and it's within the budget limit, to your side, and make the battle easier in your favor. Now that lasts for 4 turns. If Slaanesh is the ascendant, the budget goes up to 150, and the Slaanesh corruption doubles. The last one, Cult Uprising. 5 turns if Slaanesh is ascendant, and 5 turns, and if he's ascendant, it's 7 turns. A disciple army will be summoned near the army during this turn, and campaign movement is disabled for that army for that number of turns. Now, disciple armies are like with Khorne when he does the skull raising and he spawns an army. The disciple army is nearby you, but if he is in a territory that doesn't have plus 25% Slaanesh corruption, they will suffer attrition and they will just burn away. Now, here's the thing with Nakari. He's fast, he's slick, and he's cool. He starts off in Ulthuan, which is where he wants to be because he wants revenge against the twins, Tyrion and Teclis, for what they did to him when he first invaded. Now, Lore of Slaanesh is really good lore spell. You can debuff the enemy, you can buff your own units, but at the cost a rampage, as well as you can stop enemies from moving while you're in there cutting them up. The unique thing with Nakari, with his active ability Willing Prey, and the one Lord Slaanesh spell, which I can't remember the name, that reduces melee defense, you can lower their melee defense to a bare minimum of like probably nothing, so when Nakari runs in there, he cuts up the enemy lord instantly, because he is so fast. Unique thing about him is, as well as other greater demons, they have the Harvester of Souls. So whenever they're fighting enemy units within that their leadership is breaking, they heal, they replenish. Now, that's only unique to Nakari, and then he upgrades it to get a bit more, and Whispers of Glory also does direct damage to enemies whenever their leadership is breaking, as also lowers their melee defense and causes them to rampage. Because they're just going crazy because Nakari is just whispering everything. The Slaanesh is all about excess. They revel in it. They just want to make you access to all sorts of pleasure, pain, and torment.
I'm feeling uncomfortable.
Facts.
Don't be hating because you can't enjoy the excess. Now we'll pass it off to my dear. Now we'll pass it off to my dear lover so he can tell you about his experience with the king himself.
Oh, my experience. Okay. Let's see, Nakari. It's weird because I love and hate Nakari spot. It's a good spot for early, what's it called? Sword of Cain, if you wanted it. But at the same time, you're fighting Tyrion. You're Teclis, right? Tyrion's not there.
Tyrion.
There's Tyrion there.
It's Tyrion. Teclis is in the south.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you're fighting Tyrion.
And Alariel.
That guy's kind of a dick to fight early, but honestly, he's gonna be busy dealing with what's his name? What's her name? Malekith's Marathi. Marathi. I think there's another faction that spawns over there too.
Right? Count Noctilus. He usually invades Ulthuan.
Yeah, Count Noctilus would be over there. It's a pretty decent starting area. It's pretty decent. The only issue I would have with it is if Be'lakor acts up and wants to come beat your ass up, he could. But knowing Be'lakor, he's just gonna be busy dealing with Norska plus Brick
and Bretonia.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. But Nakari, his starting area, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. It's I don't think what I hate about Nakari with his starting like campaign, and I don't know how anyone else feels about it. I don't like his starting army that he gets. I don't like anything about it besides the demonettes. I don't like how he starts with some of those units. I wish he got something different. But Nakari himself is a devastating leader. I think he's probably he gets the thing where he does more damage on flanking, right?
Yeah, most Slaanesh cavalry and the demonettes get a unique ability called Devastating Flanker, where they do bonus damage whenever they are flanking.
So the idea with Nakari really is just to shit. You flank with the Lord, their armies are basically dead. I mean, shit. But mostly with the demonettes too. Slaanesh is a pretty devastating faction too. I think out of all of the four, I praised the three others for their leader because they all the other three have pretty good leaders, except Kugath. Kugath is just a healing bastard, I guess. But I praise Nakari's Slaanesh army because I think personally Slaanesh has probably some of the best units in the game that came out with Total Warhammer 3. Demonettes are broken. I think we can all agree on that. Demonettes, they were broken. They were even more broken when they came out. I still think they are broken right now. Mm-hmm. I feel like that is a very unfair unit that is just overall an amazing unit.
Mm-hmm.
Plus with Devastating Flanker, it's just it's amazing. It's one of the one of the best fucking units that have ever come out.
So where would you place?
No, it's just I like him.
Where would you place Nakari on this tier list?
S.
I wouldn't place him S. I'd play A+. They fix his units and would go higher, but
I'm letting this up to you guys because
you know what? No, you know what? No, he is a Slaaneshi faction. Slaanesh is just too good to actually place anything. Yeah, he's an S. It's just because he's Slaanesh, honestly.
Yep, and also a thing I forgot to mention is if you do diplomacy with Slaanesh, and also you defeat a lord with Slaanesh, you give a mark, and that overall builds a debuff on the enemy, which buffs when fighting. So whenever they fight other Slaaneshes, they get tremendously weak, and when it's fully maxed out, you can force vassalize them, and they can't break out of it. They're forever in your clutches.
Yeah, Nakari's
S tier.
All right.
The gift of Slaanesh is just too good.
And so, with that said, I want to thank again Derper3 and also Bongos for joining me and making this tier list for part 2. We shall be returning for part 3, and with part 3, the first thing we're going to be hitting up are the Warriors of Chaos. That means that we're going to be hitting up the most recent changes, and we all can't wait to get literally into that. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please remember to like and subscribe. Also to hit the notification bell down below to be notified of when the next video is coming out. Thank you guys for watching. Thank y'all for your support and all that you guys do. You guys have a great one. Peace out. Much love, everybody. Have a good one, y'all.
Bye.
If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like and also hit the bell notification down below. Thanks for watching.